I just pulled up for where I think is a foreclosure auction. So I'm going to get ready to kind of run my numbers and do all my due diligence. While we have done due diligence beforehand, our final due diligence right before we go to the auction, just to be our final bid number. I thought I'd take you with me, but right now I got to find the house. So I guess I'll take you for a quick walk because honestly, I don't know where number 33 is. So let's go look for it together. So, all right, there's 29. Where's 33? I feel like I'm walking on someone else's property. Looks like their driveway, but wouldn't 33 be past that? I'm very confused. Like, that road ends. That's like a dirt, that's someone's driveway, right? Where's 33? Because this house doesn't exist? I know I'm in the right town. It's a really good thing that I'm early because I'm lost. And this is literally like 7 minutes from my office and I can't find this place. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to look at the GIS map or something. This is freaking confusing. So, found the house, or at least found it on the GIS map, and there's like a paper street or something, so Google must not have understood that. So, looks like I can't trust Google or Apple Maps for those darn Apple users out there. I want to know below in the comments who's an Apple user, who's an Android user. Android, I think this might be it. It's the worst house on the street, so that's typically right. Let's go check this out. As you can see, this is a ranch style, 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. So we're gonna look for similar, ranch style. So like the one next door to me, for instance. We got a little ranch over there, and I saw some other ranches. So I'm gonna look around on the MLS and find other ranches that have sold in the area that ideally have been renovated, around the same square footage, around the same age, all that kind of stuff to come up with my ARV. So in this case, I have come up with around $400,000, for the ARV in the area. Next, of course, is looking at, well, is it occupied? It does appear to be occupied, so I got to factor in a cost to get the person out, whether that be a cash with keys deal. Maybe we're, going through the eviction process, whatever it might be. We got to figure out some of that. That also includes holding costs. Besides, the time, the cost of holding the money, if you're using hard money or using a line of credit, that's going to be a cost. You got, also, taxes you got to pay, insurance you're paying, if you're paying for heating season, utilities, stuff like that. These are things that you're going to want to like really factor in as far as your, when you're running your numbers for that kind of stuff. Then of course there's closing costs, so your lawyer fees, all that kind of stuff. And we got a pool back here. So you kind of want to get all those. Looks like we got a finished basement. And you gotta really run those numbers. A little fence back here. So that was the other street I was on. That's why I was coming up with similar things like that. Pool has seen better days. Not the worst pool I've ever seen, but checking the roof line a little bit. Yeah. All right. So let's talk numbers. So I'm just kind of walking around. First thing, obviously, is understanding what your strategy is for the house. Are you looking to buy and hold and rent out the property? Or are you looking to flip the property, wholesale the property? So flipping could be renovating and selling it, flipping it, wholesaling it. So having a clear strategy or multiple exit strategies is really important. And right now, from where we are in the market, for the most part, we're going to be doing basically a wholesale, or a flip. We're not accumulating these type of properties right now, like this one, for rentals, just because of the high price and what we can get and versus what we can get for rent. And we can get more right now, more than 10 years of cash flow from a sale, flip, or whatever it might be. So right now, it makes more sense for us to accumulate cash to take advantage of what we see coming down the market. So that is our strategy. Everyone's gonna have a little different strategy, and that's why also you'll see different people running their numbers differently. That's why sometimes we'll get outbid because people are just having different numbers in those, and they have a different strategy. And maybe they aren't using hard money, or they have their own money, or they are doing all the work themselves. So that's why everyone's numbers are gonna be a little different. So you just need to do your numbers, but this is the way we do our numbers. So the way shouldn't really change. The process shouldn't change. It's just how you come up with those numbers can be a little different for everyone. So let's talk about it. So the first things first is we run an ARV. So what is ARV? It's an after repair value. So when it's all fixed up and everything like that, even whether you're doing it or not, what is that, end goal number that you can get in the market right now? And that's going to be different for every market. You really need to understand comps or comparable sales. For instance, you got landscaping, quite a bit of landscaping. So I'm going to throw a few $1,000s at that. The roof doesn't look bad, but it's definitely an older 3-tab roof. So I'm going to lose some value there. And it does appear to be 1 layer, so I could just go over it. In Massachusetts, you're allowed to do 2 layers before you have to strip it. It doesn't appear that the plywood, I'm kind of walking around for what I can see the roof, doesn't feel like it, there's any bumps or anything like that the plywood shot, and that I'm going to need to do that. It does look decent. It does have 2 skylights, so you often find that those fail. I might even end up, if I do the roof over, just rip them out, plywood over, and be done with them and just kind of close them up on the inside. But we won't really know that. Now I can see some of the flashing around the skylights does look like it's worn a little bit. The siding itself looks in good shape. The garage door looks in good shape. I will do 2 front new doors. The pool liner looks shot. That's going to need some work. I'm assuming I'm going to just always upgrade lighting, redo flooring. So I'm assuming that we're going to have to put all new LVP, but maybe we're lucky and it has hardwood that I can just refinish. But I won't really know that until we get inside. So I'm going to assume the worst case scenario, just putting all new LVP throughout the house. I'm going to assume this was built in the 60s. Doesn't look like there's any, the last time it was sold was a while, and I don't have any, unfortunately, pictures from the last sale. That's usually very helpful information, but I don't have any of that. So I'm assuming brand new kitchen cabinets, just based on the style. And so I know that roughly that's going to probably cost me for the whole kitchen, probably $7,000 to $8,000 total. I'm assuming I'm going to have to do the same thing with a full remodel of the bathroom. So a tub, tile up, vanity, toilet, flooring, walls with paint. So I factor in costs there. So basically I'm going to just walk through, add up all my costs. Like your costs, of course, are going to be very different than mine. I'm hiring subcontractors. I do also have a licensed electrician on staff. So all that's going to be done by my on-staff electrician. So I do get to save some costs there. This is someone else's property. I don't want to walk out. Oh, and it's raining. Ooh, get under here a little bit real quick. So I'm adding up all my costs. And so all the holding costs, all the closing costs, you factor in also commissions for your real estate agent that you're going to sell. Unless you're your own agent, then once again, that cost you don't have to worry about. That's for you. So once again, everyone's numbers can be a little different. Even though I am a licensed broker, I've worked with a great team of realtors. I just don't have the time for it. I got my license A for the education, as well as eventually maybe I'll bring it in-house, but I haven't done it to this day. But yeah, so I'm adding up all those costs, subtracting all that from the ARV. So get all that out, and then what I do is I then come up with a bottom line of what I'm looking for a profit, and I get to figure that out, and then that's basically, then I take it off, and that's where I come up with my maximum I'll bid, and I stick to those numbers. I mean, there's times where I walk away when it still only goes up $1,000. It's really important, I find, to stick to my numbers, because when you start getting in the emotion of the bidding, it's so easy to bid a little higher, and we did that early on. We were bidding up and we bought properties we probably shouldn't have. So I'd rather just stick to my numbers. If I lose a few, it's okay, because then I know more often than not I will not get hurt. By sticking to my numbers, I am safe, and I don't have to worry about having all these losses, because things are going to come up unknown that I can't anticipate. We've had things where a lot of sewer pipes that we couldn't see, or had no idea, they fail, and it's usually like within the first few days of us owning it. We've had septic systems that said they were passed, then they weren't, then we get the inspector come in and they fail us, and so therefore we're now out another $10,000-$15,000. So it's better for me to stick to my numbers, because there's going to be unknowns. No matter what I do in this business, I can't control all the unknowns that get thrown at us. There's so many variables and so many things change. That's why running my numbers, sticking to my numbers, is the only way we've been successful. Whenever we deviate, more often than not, we get hurt. It's not property that you get to walk, get in, do inspections, bring contractors through, bring HVAC and electricians and plumbers like you would on the MLS. You can't do all that. So you do have to now, it's more, you know, there's, even when you're doing that, when you're buying on the ramp and you bring all the inspectors, still things come up. But it's more likely to come up at a foreclosure auction. So it's more important than ever to make sure you stick to your numbers at a foreclosure auction, because you're going to get hurt otherwise if you do. The other thing that you need to make sure you factor into your number is also any liens on the property that are outstanding. For instance, here there's some taxes and water and sewer bills owed. So that's something about $3,000 that we are going to take off the number. You can call those, typically call the tax assessors, get that water to sewer department. There might be other, if there's a municipal electric or something, that's also something you want to look into. You check in with code enforcement, see if there's any outstanding code violations that need to be paid for, trash bills, so on and so on. So then also, of course, always making sure you're actually bidding on a first foreclosure, because if it's a second foreclosure, you're going to need to be responsible or know what the first is. So that's pivotal, and that's we go over that in some of our other videos over here. You can check those out, because I'm not going to go in depth on that right now. So she's coming out and taking pictures of my car, so I'm going to go talk to her. I don't know if it's a neighbor or... Hello? She's driving off.
I don't know who you are or what you're doing, but you're acting suspicious.
Oh,
and that's why I took the picture.
That's fine. You can more than take pictures. There's a foreclosure auction happening, so I'm looking at the house. Oh, so I'm here and the auctioneers are on their way.
Well, if it's no big deal, then there's no reason. Then I can delete my pictures.
No, you can keep them. I don't care.
Keep them for a while, because you are acting a little suspicious.
Okay, that's fine. I was just letting you know why I was doing that. No problem. So one neighbor tapes me and starts taking photos of my truck, which is fine, whatever. Because I mean, it does look suspicious. I'm walking around the house, looking at it, talking into my phone. So I guess that does look pretty suspicious. And then another neighbor just drove by and was asking what's up, and I explained what's going on. He wanted to understand the process, which is cool. And he's like, yeah, it'd be nice to have this property cleaned up and not have to see the front yard the way it is. He did say that there is a husband and wife, some couple kids, and a dog in there. So did confirm for me that it is occupied, which I was pretty confident there. I could also hear a dog barking. I'm hoping they didn't leave a dog in there alone and just vacate, but there's stranger things that happened. So we got a little bit more information from the owner, the neighbor, but that's about all we got.
$293,700. So $293,700. So today, to make this part of your life story, you have to bid a minimum of $294,000. It's a very, very quiet neighborhood, very peaceful. $293,700 once, $293,700 twice. So we're seeking in advance to $294,000.
Good luck,
this is
my
the
friend.
third and final call. $293,700 back to the mortgagee. Thank you so very much,
Woo!
everybody.
Well, there you have it. It went back to the bank for $293,000 in change. None of the other bidders that were all investors felt that that's annoying. So no one, felt that their strategy made sense at that number. Now, once again, if a homeowner showed up at that and we're buying a house below 2021 levels, they might be ecstatic at that price. So, I mean, I don't know if any of you watching this, are you a homeowner looking to buy a foreclosure auction? Now, there's obviously a lot of other risks that you have involved, but getting the property at that price is what, because back in 2011, they bought it for $300,000. Now, obviously, a little bit of work has to go into it. But one of the things also I noticed that I was reason why I was able to calculate our area a little higher, if I didn't mention it earlier, sorry, was that the basement was finished. I saw a permit on the assessor card that was resolved, as well as an addition on the back. So we knew that it was higher ARV originally. That's why I said the 400, maybe a little bit more. So a homeowner might think this is a fantastic deal. Got a finished basement, all this other stuff. I can put in a little sweat equity. It's obviously habitable. People are living there right now. They will have to get rid of them, but that could be a huge risk for any homeowner. So once again, if you don't know what you're doing, or you don't have the experience, or have someone like a great lawyer to help you through the experience, I'd highly recommend avoiding that. But if you do have the experience, it can be a fantastic way for a homeowner to get a steal. I got a steal at foreclosure auction. Kevin got a steal at a foreclosure auction, so we were really happy about that. Obviously, our bidding strategy was very different, and so therefore we made different decisions for our homes. But it went back to the bank. So I'm getting ready to go drive over to the next one and do some more due diligence over there and see maybe we can get the next one. Hope if this was helpful. If you guys want to learn more about foreclosure, check out our book, Foreclosures Unlocked, and make sure you stay tuned for our channel for new videos coming out every week. Thanks a lot.